Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Lynn Wilson. Welcome back to my home and welcome back to my channel. And hello to all my new subscribers. I'm glad you're joining me and I want you to know that you can do this. We are going to do this together and we are going to get through it and we're going to do it. So what are we talking about today? Can you still fill your stockpile or can you start your stockpile with $1 items? That's what we're going to chat about today. So rising cost, inflation, prices, food, it's like this nemesis that's just around us. We have to eat, it costs money, what are we gonna do? How do we do it? Whether you're a family of one or a family of more, it costs people money to eat. Okay, so if you saw my video last night, I did one on one package of chicken and how it was fairly cheap if you broke it down, and I broke it down per meal and then per person. So go back and check that out if you want some encouragement that you can do this. I also have other videos on cheap and easy meals and things like that. Maybe that would be helpful. But tonight, I really want to kind of hone in on, can I either build, rebuild, start, or just continue making a stockpile with $1 items? You know, we used to all love the Dollar Tree. Everything was $1. And it was woo-woo, we all went to the Dollar Tree. Then they raised the price to $1.25 and it was like war. You had people on YouTube who didn't really care, who didn't mind, it was okay. And then you have other people on YouTube that it's like the world's worst thing that ever happened. And it's been interesting with the comments that I had gotten during that time that I had people almost arguing with me that it was like this earth-shattering thing. Now, let me, and you heard this from my lips to your ears, I'm not saying the cost of things going up is okay, but there is nothing we can do about it. Now, I'm not saying just sit back and go, oh, well, no, I'm not saying that. It just means we need to be more diligent and more selective, and, we got to put a little elbow grease into this. So I went shopping today just to pick up a few items. You know how that can be. But I did need a couple items and it wasn't worth me going to the grocery store. I went maybe half a mile from my house to Dollar General to pick up one or two items. While I was there, I wanted to kind of scope out supplies, prices, and so on. So I can tell you some of the items are a whole lot cheaper than my grocery store, and even some cheaper than Walmart, and some not so much. You got to know your prices. Number one, you got to know your prices. But with that being said, right on their front door, it says, check out our $1 items. And I checked out their $1 items. And listen, here's the thing. You can stock your pantry, stockpile, whatever you want to call it, with $1 items. They have dollar or less, okay? They had pasta for $1. They had instant potatoes for $1. They had tuna for $1. They had spaghetti sauce, the Hunt's, I think it's the Hunt's brand, for $1. They had, did I say tuna already? They had tuna for $1. They had cans of corn, green beans, all that, anywhere from 54 cents to $1. I think the average was about 74 cents. Oh, they had the Vienna sausages. I think they were 74 cents. What are some of the other things? I'm trying to think. I'll show you pictures at the end. I took a few pictures of things. You can still get a bag of rice for $1. You can still get bags of beans for $1. You have to do your homework. You have to do your hard work at filling your stockpile. But listen, it's your money, it's your budget. If you want to blow it and buy something for $10 when you can get it a whole lot cheaper, that's up to you. But can you fill your stockpile with $1 items? Yes, you can. And here is what I recommend, especially during these tough times. Go get the $1 items. There are things at Dollar General I could get for $1. Now, I did look at their the macaroni and cheese where you get the squeeze packet. They were $3.59 a box. I was like, no way. I think they're $2.89 at Walmart. They're $1.25 at Dollar Tree. I'm going to go to Dollar Tree, which is another half a mile down the road, and pick up those macaronis. But the other things that were $1.25 at Dollar Tree are $1 or less at Dollar General. So we're talking half a mile to a mile from my house. No big deal. I can pick those items up. When it comes to the grocery store, I'm going to do the same thing. What items can I get for $1? What items can I get? Now, Walmart, I know you can get some items for $1. Not so much at my grocery stores, but I don't know what's in your area. You have to do your own homework. Here's my thinking. You fill your stockpile pantry with cans of vegetables that are $1 or less. Their macaroni and cheese at Dollar General, I think, were 87 cents a box. You can fill your pantry with rice and beans and macaroni and cheese, and they had spaghetti for $1 and instant potatoes for $1 and all those types of things. You can get cans of vegetables for $1 or less. You can get certain canned meats for $1 or less. I couldn't really find any treats or desserts or things like that that were fairly cheap, so we're not even going to include that. From there, if you needed to, I didn't find any breakfast items like oatmeal or cream of wheat or pancake mix or anything like that for $1 or less. I think you'd have to spend the $1.25 at Dollar Tree and stock up on that. But if you stock your stockpile right now with dollar items, that will allow you the flexibility of getting some other items at the grocery store. If you strictly go to the grocery stores and you don't look for dollar items and you just buy the stuff, you're going to be spending a lot of money. Now, again, I just did that thing, the video on the package of chicken and how cheap it was. If you're a family of 1 or 2, you could really stretch that bag of chicken out. And then you can use the instant potatoes and the can of cheap vegetables and have a decent meal. Times are tough. Times are hard, and there's a lot of people that can't afford anything really fresh in terms of produce and fruit and things like that. First and foremost, you want to get as much fresh produce and fresh vegetables and fruits and things like that that you can. But you might have to go a week or 2 on canned items and instant items. I would rather see you eat instant potatoes and instant rice and a can of peas or a can of green beans and a decent portion of meat for 2 weeks and still only pay maybe $1, $2 or less per person, per meal, etc., than hitting the fast food restaurant because it's quick, it's easy, and you think it's cheap. It's not healthy for you. You're spending more money. Stay at home. Fill that stockpile with dollar items, and then you can afford to maybe get the fresh bag of broccoli. You could afford to get, maybe you don't want the instant potatoes and you want the $6, $7 bag of potatoes. Well, then use other dollar items. Maybe you can't afford to get all fresh produce and vegetables and fruits. Stock up on the canned items that were $1 or less and decide, well, for this week, I'm going to get salad, and that'll be my fresh produce with a canned vegetable. Maybe this week you could do salad with potatoes and still do a canned vegetable. You can fill your stockpile for $1 or less with dollar items, but you have to do your homework. And I really think it's a great way to go. If you can't afford to fill your stockpile, you don't know how to start a stockpile, start with dollar items. Dollar General brags about they have dollar items. Ever since Dollar Tree raised to $1.25, Dollar General has said we have dollar items. Go get your dollar items. Go to Walmart and purposefully look for dollar items. Pick them up, fill your stockpile. Then you have that little extra buffer. Then you can get fresh produce and your meats and so on and so forth. It's hard times. It's tough times. These are the things that you need to do. But it's not a forever. I've said that before. I've had people say, well, what do you mean it's not a forever? Nothing is forever. Things are always changing, sometimes for the bad, hopefully a lot of times for the good. We cannot predict the future. I don't care what anybody tells you on YouTube or on the news. No one knows what the future holds. but we can be prepared the best we can, and you can fill your stockpile with $1 items or less so that you have something to fall back on with instant rice, instant potatoes, canned vegetables, canned fruits, and canned meats. And put yourself, a little aside for maybe the next 2 weeks, and then a little bit more for the next kind of rainy day when maybe an emergency happens. And then allow yourself to get anything fresh that you can get as well. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it's helpful. I will just at the very end of this video leave some pictures for you of a few items that I found for $1. I want to encourage you. You can do this. I'm doing it. We can all do this. If you're trying to save money, especially if you're a family of 1 or 2, and a bag of potato is $6 to $7, that's fine if you can eat them. But if you can't eat them and you don't want to freeze them or can them or whatever, maybe instant potatoes, you can add a little butter or sour cream or some cheese if you want to kind of doctor it up a little bit. And you can have that as a side dish versus a bag of potatoes at $6 or $7. But then the $5 to $6 you saved on buying fresh potatoes and you eat instant potatoes, you can allow yourself to get some tomatoes and cucumbers or some broccoli that's fresh to add with it. You don't have to shortchange yourself completely. But hard times means we have to work a little bit harder looking for those bargains, but they still are out there. So thanks for coming over today and joining me. Leave me a comment below and we'll catch you all on the next video.